Sugar is one of the most addicting substances on the planet. After all, there doesn't seem to be any direct effects on the body or the mind after consuming some sweets. Or is there? Did you know that despite having any immediate effects on your mind and body, sugar can damage multiple organs? This damage isn't anything you can fix with a couple months of treatment as well, as quite a lot of these damages will last a lifetime. So now, it's just a matter of finding out whether you're consuming just enough or too much sugar to affect your health. In today's video, we've compiled 10 of the many warning signs you're having too much sugar than recommended. And if you stick around, we'll name 5 ways you can reduce your sugar intake without feeling like the world is ending. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons to get more like it. So, do you think that you are consuming too much sugar than needed? Want to find out? Well, here's warning sign number 10. Slow wound repair. Sure, it's normal to get a wound today and find it gone in a couple of days. But diabetics and people who consume too much sugar might find that their wound doesn't heal as fast as it used to. You see, having high levels of sugar in your blood can prevent your blood cells like platelets and red blood cells from doing their job. If you find that your wounds aren't healing as fast as they used to, then you have every right to feel concerned. Not only is it a warning sign of high blood sugar, but it can also lead to infections stemming from the wound. Should that infection spread, it may cost you a limb, literally. But does high blood sugar only affect the body? What about your brain? Let's answer that with warning sign number 9, mood swings. Mood swings are fairly normal to experience. Everyone goes through it. Maybe you just woke up on the wrong side of the bed, or maybe you're just going through a lot of stress right now. But frequent mood swings can already be a warning sign of having consumed too much sugar. Why? Glucose, the most common sugar in foods and your blood, is the primary source of energy for your brain. When your brain receives too much sugar, as in the sugar that the rest of your body can't break down, it starts to malfunction. Quite literally, sugar messes with your mind by altering the chemical reactions in your brain. In children, this is more often seen as a sugar rush. Once your body has completely digested the excess sugar, you'll then start to feel tired and groggy. Going through these ups and downs in just a few hours may severely impact your mood, especially if you constantly keep your blood sugar level high. Aside from giving you a bad mood, excessive sugar can also stress you out with bad skin. Warning sign number 8. Breakouts and dry skin. Dermatologists provide their patients with foods to avoid if they want to maintain their healthy skin. This list can be shortened by simply saying, avoid foods with high sugar content. Why, you ask? The presence of sugar in your blood triggers the release of hormone insulin, which lowers your blood sugar level. But the release of this hormone produces a side effect: oily skin. Ew, right? Aside from oily skin, excess sugar can also make you urinate quite a lot, as your body tries to get rid of all the sugar it doesn't need. This can lead you to have dry skin as well, making your skin more prone to bacterial infections, which more often than not become acne. Aside from affecting your skin and brain, what other organs do you think excessive sugar consumption will affect? Can you take a guess? It may shock you, but here's warning sign number 7. Impotence. Yep, just as it messes with your brain, it also messes with your down there. Remember that excess sugar in the blood alters the chemistry of your brain, the main organ responsible for controlling your hormones. If your hormones are out of whack, it becomes harder for men to get hard. So to the guys out there, be careful not to consume too much, or you might face some performance issues. If you find that you suffer from erectile dysfunction, try cutting down on sugar before taking any extreme measures. Can you guess what organ comes next? Because now, we're in warning sign number 6. Focusing issues. It's easy to say that your devices are the reason why you're always out of focus, as they do play a key role in affecting almost everyone's attention span. But what you probably didn't know is that because excessive sugar can make you dehydrated fast, it can lead you to have poor eyesight as well. Glaucoma is a separate disease from diabetes, but the chances of losing vision are enhanced by excessive sugar intake. Studies have shown when you can't see a subject well, you tend to lose focus on it quickly. Aside from affecting your vision, excessive sugar consumption can also cause brain fog. This brain fog comes as a result of mood swings caused by sugar spikes and crashes, leading you to feel irritable, anxious, or exhausted. So if you're having trouble staying on track, would you consider the possibility of eating too much sugar? Warning sign number 5, getting addicted. Addiction can be a very heavy word, but sugar addiction is very much real. It's not as severe as getting addicted to drugs, alcohol, or gambling though, but its effects are very subtle. Every time you consume sweets, the reward portion of your brain lights up. This triggers the release of dopamine, otherwise known as the happy hormone. Dopamine is released when other addictions are satiated, such as drugs and alcohol. You might not notice it, but it might slowly become a routine or compulsion for you to have a cup of ice cream or some pastries every day. Give in to every craving, and you'll start to just indulge every chance you get. This can lead to warning sign number 4, weight change. Sweets are the kinds of foods that contain a crazy amount of calories, which is why a lot of people gain weight from them. This mostly happens because excess sugar in your body is stored as fat, and in a very interesting way. Remember how sugar is a main source of energy for your body? Well, if that energy is not spent or burned, it gets stored as fat tissue throughout your body. Eat more than enough, and your body will just keep storing that sugar as fat until eventually you become overweight. But wait, did you know that you can also lose weight because of excessive sugar consumption? Yep, because the body sometimes disposes of excess sugar through your urine. You will feel the need to pee a lot. But when you pee, you don't only get rid of the sugar, but other electrolytes and nutrients as well. This is why some diabetics look so thin or frail, as some of them have lost most of their weight simply just by urinating. But sugar doesn't only affect your weight. Just like in children, sugar can also affect your energy levels. And that's warning sign number 3. You feel groggy. What if, for absolutely no reason you can think of, you feel so drained? You slept well and early, and you didn't work out. So it might be the sugar you consumed. Simple sugars, like those you find in sweets in general, break down in your body fast. In adults, the spike in blood sugar can give quick bursts of energy, but just as it was quick to be digested, it's also spent as fast. Sad to say, that burst of energy won't last you a day, probably not even 4 hours. Warning sign number 2, you pee too much. We've talked about it over and over again. Peeing is a way for your body to release all the excess sugar you've consumed. But what does it really do to your kidneys? As you pee, your kidney filters all the fluids from your blood. This means that every single electrolyte, nutrient, and waste product is processed before it goes into your pee. And because your kidney overworks itself, it loses its capability to filter properly. It becomes haphazard in what it filters, until it eventually stops filtering at all. Then, you're faced with warning sign number 1. You always feel thirsty. Sugar consumption doesn't only make you pee constantly because it damages your kidneys. It can also do so by a scientific term called homeostasis. Homeostasis is your body's way of keeping everything in a normal state, especially blood sugar levels. When there is too much sugar content in your blood, your body tells all cells capable of releasing their water content to dilute your high in sugar blood. And because your cells are now low in water content, they tell your brain that you need to drink, which is what you know as feeling thirsty. But this doesn't mean that you should just grab any can or bottle with liquid you can find. The best thing you could drink is plain old water, as any other drink like juice, soft drinks, and whatnot will only worsen the feeling of thirst later on. And that's that. Were you surprised by any of the warning signs at all? Or have you experienced any of these recently? If you have, do know that feeling or experiencing one warning sign is not enough to diagnose you with diabetes. But if you were to be experiencing, say, 5 out of the 10, then you might want to consider changing how much sugar you consume. Do you have any idea how you can do it? Pro tip: it's not good to suddenly cut out sugar from your life. It can lead to withdrawal symptoms and may be one of the unhealthiest decisions you can make. Let us help you out some more with these 5 tips. Number 1. Avoid food based on their sugar content. It's not that hard. A lot of these foods are bound to be well known by the public, especially since a lot of health organizations give out multiple warnings. If you know or are aware of how much sugar is in certain food, for example, chocolates, then it's best to physically separate yourself from it. The next time you shop for groceries, try to go the long way just to avoid the aisles where you know your sweet treats are displayed. But we know that's not the easiest thing to do. So let's say you accidentally found yourself in the forbidden aisle and accidentally bought the sweets. What now? Don't throw it out, you can still have it. But you're going to have to break it down in portions. If you're used to eating a bar of chocolate in a single day, maybe you can start by just cutting one in half. Eat one half today and save the other half for the next. You can then move on to eating only half a bar every 2 days until you eventually only need a bar of chocolate a month. That way, you're training yourself to have the discipline you need to live with less sweets. Number 2, adjust your drink palate. Many doctors and nutritionists will say that food isn't to blame for most of the excess sugar people consume. It's drinks. Soft drinks and juices generally contain simple sugars and barely any nutrients. So they're only really there to satisfy your sweet tooth. Aside from these, alcoholic drinks are also known for containing large amounts of carbohydrates. Do you know what kind of alcohol contains the most? It's beer. This is why people easily gain weight from regularly consuming beer, giving them what we now know as a beer belly. Do your research on the drinks at hand. Otherwise, just stick to plain old delicious water. Number 3, rest well. Rest is an important part of anyone's routine, and it's been found that not resting enough is heavily linked to craving for sweets because it messes with your brain chemistry. Having some sweets right before sleeping can affect sleep patterns. If you end up feeling sleep deprived the next day, your body tries to compensate for the energy loss by making you feel much hungrier than usual. And of course, with sweets being some of the most available foods to make you feel full fast, you'll find yourself eating more of them. So start by reducing your daily sugar consumption simply by just getting enough sleep. Number 4, don't fall for healthy labels. One of the smartest marketing strategies that companies use is by selling their products using the word healthy. And sure enough, a lot of people fall for that trap. They tend to buy foods labeled healthy even if it's more expensive and it doesn't have much of a difference from a regular product. The best way you can fight this kind of marketing is by checking where the real information comes in, the nutritional label. Most foods can't lie on their nutrition label because almost everything is regulated by the FDA. So you can see for yourself whether the ingredients and nutrition label really makes a healthy product healthy. Number 5, consult your doctor. Yep, the best way you can start fighting the urge to consume excessive amounts of sugar is by speaking to a doctor. They know better than anyone the risks of excessive consumption, as well as the struggles of stopping the habit. This is why the best first step you can take is to speak with your doctor and come to terms with an approach on how to reduce your sugar intake. So how do you feel? Do you feel concerned because you found yourself experiencing the warning signs? Or do you feel relieved because you're not experiencing any of these at all? Do you now feel as if you need to change how much sugar you consume in a day? If you've got tips on how you can do that, or how you did it, head down to the comments section to let others know of your experiences as well. Got a burning question you want to ask us? We go through all the comments to see what questions you've asked and how we can answer them. So hit the like and subscribe buttons to stay notified of our future videos. Thanks for watching.